I don't know what to say about this. Okay, compose yourself. Welcome. I'm Baba Ditto, and here's the video. So we have ALT-TOBER. This year, instead of Inktober, I made actually 3 of my own lists, except as you'll see, I went off of them quite a bit. So this is the front cover I made. I got kind of extra ink over it as I was working on it, so it's kind of messy, but that's okay. You can see I have a red and black theme for this cover with the cute little cartoon skull, and down here we have the anti-generative AI, obviously. And so first thing, opening this, I originally had planned this out to like X off each day, and I didn't even continue to put favorites and least favorites. I'll just point them out as we go along. But in total, I used 75 prompts and I did 62 drawings. So this is spread number 1, day 1, and over here we have something kind of from way earlier in the timeline. So this is Kara. You know, 2037, this is Kara. Or I guess 2038, actually, for this drawing. Anyway, this is Haley. And you guys may have been seeing Haley here and there on my channel. Haley is a very interesting gal. She's, I don't know how much I should say, really. But she is important in Kara's story, but she's more important in Lucy's story, which I do eventually plan to write and release. So this is Haley. It was very fun to figure out a way to hide her face without having the hat like actually on her head. So that was fun. So that was day 1. Day 2. Oh, and I'm just not going to read out the prompts. You can just try to read them. Some of them don't even have prompts. I think there's only 1 or 2 that don't. Anyway, we'll get to that chaos later. This is also from older times, although I should have drawn Lucy's hair curly, but I'm just going to say it's like so drenched and humid out that it kind of ruined her hair. Anyway, this is Lucy when she is a kid, or not a kid, but like a teen, and she's holding 3 spiders, or there are 3 spiders on her. 3 is a very important number in my art, especially connecting it with Lucy and Haley, and that's why I even put 3 lines between each prompt that is used, because 3 is very important in my art. On this side we have Lucy as a teenager, question mark, and on this side we have Kara just laying on her floor listening to music and being cozy in her pajamas. Day 3. This is one of my least favorite ones. I hate how her face turned out, and this is actually one of my favorites, honestly. This is a dude who isn't really an OC, but he does show up a couple times in this sketchbook. He doesn't have a name, but he's just a guy who had very beautiful dark black hair, and he didn't always look that pale, but he's dying. He has a disease, which has way more to do with Lucy's story than Kara's. So you can see how like this side so far has just been sort of Lucy's story and things in that time frame, and this has all been Kara. So he's asking Great Witch of the South, can you heal me? And the Great Witch of the South would be Haley. So now we're kind of switching it, because now this is older and this is not. I really don't like this sketch. This is Emily crowning Kala as as a knight of Mount Hughes. Mount Hughes is where Emily lives, and it's kind of like a very snowy area, and Kala, I'm just not gonna say why he's there, because, you know, once my book is out, this is not gonna make any sense to anybody. Everybody's just gonna be really confused. They're gonna be like, why is Kala there? That doesn't make any sense, but but it will. It will make sense. And then over here we have our first illustration of Gems and Ari. Last year they were like these stars of Inktober. So Gems is just like so terrified that like all of the color has drained from him and he's just freezing and hurt, and they're running. So I do really like that one. This one, sorry if that blinded you, but this was a fun spread to make. I don't really love it, actually. I like this one, but I'm not really sure about this one. The colors just seem kind of off. It was just kind of fun because I knew Vampire was here and then Drums and Band, so I was like, okay, we're gonna make it Vampire Money. So yeah, that was kind of fun. And you can see here, this character has a lock necklace, and this character has the key. This is one of my favorite days. Okay, both of these drawings are really cute, I think. This one turned out really nice. I've never tried to draw a statue like this before, and I think it turned out really well. This is Lucy as a statue. This is a reference to not only the Taylor Swift song The Prophecy, but also it is a reference to Bring Me the Horizon's top 10 statues that cried blood. So Lucy is a statue. Even statues crumble if they're made to wait. Lonely is the muse. Anyway, that's Lucy. And over here we have Kara, in the future, I think. Kind of in the future. In this happy little moment where she's probably going to go to a Halloween party with Sean. So this is definitely after high school, but before things take a turn and kind of grumble. Day 7. So this is a week into Inktober, ALT-TOBER, whatever you want to call it. This is the first time I've successfully, in quotes, successfully, drawn monsters that I've created. So this is an Endos, the creatures that Kara kind of has to fight every now and then. And this one's name is Galto. He is kind of covered with these like little spikes. He's very rigid. He's a very sharp boy. I shouldn't call him that. Just a very sharp, like, you know, 7.5 foot tall boy. Yeah, just a little fella. And then a Viking. This one would actually be a pretty small Viking, probably only like 5 or 6 feet. And yeah, he's just kind of crawling in somewhere. So this is an actual character, and this is just a random Viking. But yeah, I'm really glad that I actually was able to draw like monsters, and it kind of look like monsters. I don't know. I'm not very good at drawing this kind of stuff, but I'd really like to be better at it. Day 8. Over here, we have another one from the older time of Lucy's story. There's Lily of the Valleys all over the place. And this guy, I don't know, should I just tell you guys? Should I just tell you who it is? Maybe I will, but maybe I won't. I think I won't. I think I won't tell you who this is, but he is an actual character. It's not the same guy who asks the witch for help. Well, he does ask for help, but this is an actual character. Okay, anyway, over here we have Chase and Molly, and Chase is kind of giving Molly her battle jacket for a moment because she's cold and it's snowing, and they're kind of walking to probably Chase's house, probably not Molly's house. Molly is a very interesting character to me. I really like her, but I don't know how prevalent she's going to be in Emily Simons, which is the working title of probably the second book to release, but yeah, my plan is Daisy Debts, and then Emily Simons, and then Daisy Debts 2, and so on. So, yeah, I like Molly. Molly is a very nice character. Okay, day 9. I got this paper from my friend. They gave it to me. It's like marker paper, so it actually like worked pretty well. So here's Lucy as more of like a devil. And over here we have Kara with carnations. Now this one is jam-packed of little Easter eggs. You know, the most obvious one was recognized, which is fine, but because I'm making this video, I'm just gonna point them out because I would really like to. So, number 1, and the one that people recognized, is the reference to Reputation by Taylor Swift, just the entire album, and specifically the Look What You Made Me Do music video. Secondly, I'm gonna point out that the Lucy statue is here, and there's suspiciously a carnation, which is always on Haley's hat. There is always 3 carnations on Haley's hat. And, oh look, there's another one. But the third one isn't here. That's strange. There's pink flowers, pastel pink flowers, in front of the grave only marked her. And over here, we have a grave with an eye etched into it that is kind of being taken over by this darkness. Almost like there's unsettled business and he can't quite go into the afterlife yet, but I don't know, maybe that means nothing. No, it does mean something. Let's see, what else do we have here? I tried to give her like that gothic like corpse makeup, which I would really love to try sometime. But yeah, I guess the only other Easter egg here is like kind of the chains, but you would really only know that if you know, but you're not gonna know until you read the last book, which definitely isn't coming out for few years, so because it's not even written yet. But you can see kind of similar themes in some of my concept art with like her bandaging and her tattoo and how far her hair dye is down here. So this is definitely Kara when she's older. So day 10, we have this mysterious person returning from the field with the lilies of the valley. And over here we have Wounded, which, yeah, I think I've probably mentioned it before that Kara and Becky sparred a lot in high school and actually way more middle school than high school. But, you know, in school, they fought. And here is Haley doing some spell casting. Look, you can see one of those flowers. The other ones are right here. There's two more. A purple one and a magenta one. You can figure out what that means if you'd like. Now this, I was actually going to put like a little bit of the book in here because there's a part where Sean sees something like this. Spoilers. But Sean sees something like this happen. But I decided not to post it. Day 12, we have Snake and Nosebleed. I really like this sketch. I really like this too. This is watercolor. So I really like having Lucy with like creatures that are sort of outcasted and sort of seen as weird and scary and like monsterish. Like it's always spiders, it's always snakes, it's always something that is a little bit out of the norm and kind of not accepted in society necessarily. So she's here with a snake, a cute snake. And this is has some lyrics from Weed Killer by Ash Nico. Okay, and then day 13, we have Emily and Chase. I really like this one of Chase, it's cute. The one of Emily, I've drawn concepts like this before, but I'm glad that I could like do a little watercolor painting. So I brought back Kara's clown design just for this, and I really like it. I still like the digital one better, but I do like this, and I love that I could bring it back. And then this is a reference to Mad by TX2 and Ice 9 Kills. Yeah, so it's not the best sketch, but it's okay. Day 15, we have Chase over here with little glitters. And we have Kara over here, you know, being Kara in the future. Technically speaking, the purple shouldn't, like the red shouldn't be this far up, but we'll just move on. The whiplash from like this to this is very amusing to me. This was the first time that I used a sticky note in this because I thought it was so bad that I wanted to restart, but I didn't restart. So day 16, we have this, which is very cute, very wholesome. I really like putting my galaxy, my universe, my silent confidant for them. So I really like this. I think it's very cute. And over here we have Lounging, which I don't even know the last time that the channel saw Sally. I don't talk about her very often. But this is Sally, Sean's younger sister. They have a 13-year age gap, and Sean is just kind of like, I mean, it's the morning, he's trying to drink his coffee, he's trying to wake up, he's trying to read Redwall, and he's just like, ugh, my little sister is so full of energy, and I just want to go back to sleep. But he's a good sport. Alright, we have more gems in Ari lore, and I'm not gonna read it. You have to read it. You have to pause and read it. I'm not gonna do it. These are both from earlier-ish in the timeline. This is earlier, and then this is kind of later earlier. So this is Lucy when she's either like almost an adult or a young adult. And I finally started drawing her with the curly hair, which I really like. So yeah, Lucy's hair is actually curly. She straightens it. She straightens it to death. So yeah, I really like how she looks with curly hair. I've drawn it like kind of wavy before, but I've never done like fully how I think it would naturally be. And yes, I am implying that her hair is naturally purple. And this one, okay, this is a redraw. Where's my original one? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Ah, here it is. Okay. So this is the redraw of this. So we went from this to this. What do you think? Did I improve it? I think I kind of did and kind of didn't, because I really like their stances here. I did make Gems a lot taller because canonically he is. And I'm not gonna explain why. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so here we have Leander, who I love, but I don't ever talk about anymore. He used to be called Jess, I don't know if I've ever mentioned him on this channel, but I do. I like him. He's cute. He's a very soft boy. And he is Ariana and Lucy's older brother. So Ariana and Lucy are twins. Fraternal, not identical. And Leander is their older brother. Although I would say that, like, Ariana and Lucy have very similar facial structures. If I drew them in a more realistic style, they would look very similar. And then here we have Joan. Joan is a dude. And Gems is just kind of out of sight. And over here we have the same guy who we saw earlier who was kind of dying, and he is decaying. So not looking too great for him, but it was fun to draw. This is another one I don't like. I don't like how I drew it, but it is here, and it is Gems and Ari lore, which I appreciate. And this is Ari and Lucy lore. Here they're laying on the ground because they don't have anywhere to sleep. Ari is basically asking Gems to tell her about his family again, because Gems has memories of his family. He remembers running out in the field and helping around the farm where he could, and he remembers just little bits and pieces. He remembers eating dinner with his family. He remembers playing games with his siblings, whereas Ariana doesn't have that. Which is really sad to say. But there's your little lore drop, is that Ariana really loves to ask Gems for stories, even though he only has so many. He only has so many memories, and she wants that to, you know, still be alive. She wants that to be repeated because she doesn't have that. And so, yeah, he kind of shares that with her. Anyway, sorry about the yapping. Moving on. When Ariana comes to Lucy's village, she brings a old piece of equipment that she definitely didn't steal. She did. So she brought a cassette player and a tape, and Lucy is just like bewildered. She's like, what is this? I don't understand. And Ariana tells her that it's magic, and Lucy believes her. So that's why she's looking so smug, and Lucy's like just surprised. So we're on day 20 now. This is Sean walking through the halls in high school, kind of feeling overwhelmed like I was with Inktober. I was getting really overwhelmed, so I was like, I'm just gonna draw Sean being overwhelmed, only using pen because so that's what I drew. And then over here we have Kara. Again, this is Kara in the future. Notice her hair is up in a bun and longer. Does it remind you of anything? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And she's wearing a dress, which I honestly imagine she would be one of those people who would wear black as a wedding dress. Not saying that this is her wedding dress, just saying if she had a wedding dress, it would probably look like this. And if she had a wedding ring, she would probably wear it on a necklace. Day 21, we finally brought back the vampire AU. She's like peeking out from the coffin. And over here we have a Sharpie sketch of Lucy because I was kind of feeling overwhelmed. So I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, and it got kind of weird. Okay, now this is where I kind of got my little revival after that one with Lucy where I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna watch Carrie from the 1970s. So I did, and this is what I drew. I immediately started drawing this, even though I pulled a muscle in my arm from carrying some things. I immediately started drawing Carrie, and then I drew this, and this is all alcohol markers except the jelly roll and the liners. So pretty proud of that because I struggle with alcohol markers. So this one's watercolor, this one's alcohol markers, and this has a little bit of pencil for the lips. So this is one where I don't know if it counts as a prompt because it's just weird. I don't think I counted it as a prompt. And then over here we have one where I said if people figured out what the 7 devils were, that I would draw their OC. Nobody even tried, so I'm gonna explain it. I originally was gonna hide it in like the broken heart pieces, but as you can see, there's only 5 of those. There's 2 here, 2 in her earrings, and 1 on her flannel. So I didn't do that. But Lucy, in past illustrations and past captions and stuff on my social medias, I have said that Lucy is seen as a demon. She's seen as a monster and a devil, and yeah. So how she kind of sees that is only in her abilities, because that's how people see it. People are like, hey, you're a demon because of that thing that you can do. You look like a dragon, you look like a demon, and those weird orb things that you can make. Spooky. I don't know. So, yeah, so I wouldn't expect anybody to get this anyway because it's so convoluted. But the 7 devils was this, and the actual page being tinted purple. So it's her abilities. Her abilities are the 7 devils. There's not 7 of them. There's, let's see here, 2, technically speaking. There's her dragon abilities and there's her glitching abilities. And I could see some arguments where teleportation would be separate from the glitching, but I don't separate it. So she has 2 abilities. One is all of her dragon qualities, you know, like the horns, the flying, all that stiff. And the second ability she has is her glitching, making those little orbs that look like galaxy, and also teleporting. More Ari and Gems. This is before they escape. And this is fan art from the comic Miliminal and Seemingly Dark. So these are characters Johnny and Caro. Definitely recommend that comic. It is by Raptor Jewels. Go look it up. It's amazing. I can't recommend it enough. It's great. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so after this and this one, like these 3 I did all in one day, and then this and all of the rest of them from here on out I did in one day because I had to go somewhere. So I had to do it all in advance. So this, from here on out, I did them all in one day, in the same day. Keep that in mind because there's a little bit of deterioration. There's a lot. So let's move on. We started with this, and these I both drew in 15 minutes, which is why I have this little mistake here with the speech bubble, because that was kind of an afterthought. So yeah, I still like these, but they each took 15 minutes because I was trying to time myself. We have a little Lucy up here being like, who are you expecting at the door? What are you doing? And Kara's like running down to answer it. Yeah, so this was pretty easy for me to do fast because I've drawn her boots so many times. And again, it's Sean's very easy for me to draw. I've drawn him like a bajillion times. So that was easy. And then we have this, which is not correct anatomy-wise, but that's okay. And we have this, and I'm just not really going to explain what this is, other than to say it's the aftermath, and if you keep up with those animatics, you might figure it out, but I might not also be posting the animatics on here anymore, because YouTube is infuriating. Now this is the bad page. You can even see. This is the bad one. This is the worst one in the entire book. Who are these characters? If you saw my Terraria my OCs as Terraria songs video, then you might have seen silhouettes and this guy. So she's the silhouette that's like around these flames. She was actually in the first Inktober drawing too, and since it's right here I'll show you, but this is also the worst one in the whole book. So maybe Kimberly's just kind of cursed traditionally. So yeah, this is Kimberly and Killian. Although in the text, I put Killian as being R, so it's K and R, because I couldn't do both of their first initials because they both start with, like, I would have had to do K-I-M, like Kim and K-I-L, because they both have kind of similar names, so I put R because his middle name is Ronan. So yeah, they're here asking for some assistance, and I don't know if any of you guys have been paying attention to the outfits that Ariana and Gems have been wearing, but they're kind of similar. And yeah, there's a reason for that. There's a very good reason for that, except just know Kimberly and Killian don't even meet Gems and Ari. They don't even meet. They're in very similar outfits. They have very similar piercings, but they don't ever meet, and they are from decades apart. This one's cute. This one, I don't really like how Chase turned out. I think she turned out the worst, but I do like this one. I really love how Lance looks. Lance is so cute. But I'm just gonna move on from that. I tried to put like their main, like I gave them all like a main color. So Lance is blue for denim. Emily is pink because she's kind of the epitome of pink. I don't know why. That's just it. And Chase is yellow. I also don't really have like a very logical reason. Like Lance just had to be blue because denim and blue jeans. But I don't really have a logical reason for the other two. Yeah, and then over here we have Chase rummaging through Emily's room, or trying to, but there's vines everywhere, and she's like, girl, are you good? Earlier we had werewolf, now we have lichen, which are actually two different things in my universe, in my Daisy Dets universe. A werewolf is a descendant of a lichen. A lichen is somebody who has been cursed. Here's how it is in the Daisy Dets universe. A lichen is the first person that was like cursed. And then after that, by generation, it gets less and less cursed and more integrated into their genetics. So a quarter werewolf just kind of became like a genetic thing. It was just like, oh, that's a thing. Like people in Becky's day and age, people don't get cursed. And people don't really think that curses exist. But in this dude's day and age, which actually wasn't that long ago, it's just that he lived in a very outdated area. People did get cursed, and he unfortunately was one of those, except he kind of did it to himself. So, lichens kind of have that thing like a classic werewolf would, where they lose control and they kind of just turn into a rampaging idiot. But quarter werewolves don't have that. Quarter werewolves just have like a few traits here and there, but they're not considered like monsters, you know? Lichens are considered like these cursed monstrous beings, whereas quarter werewolves are just like, oh, it's in your genetics, like, and people don't really think about the curse aspect of it anymore. So yeah, except in those rural areas where this dude was from, where they also called people demons and monsters all the time. So day 30, remember, this was still all in one day. It was so many drawings for one day. Anyway, day 30. We have this one where she's flying and she's older. And we have this one where she's younger and she's hiding and she's sad. Yeah, so this was like right after sort of that ability, I don't know, I guess manifested. And so then she was like, oh no, I look like a dragon. I look like a demon. Ah! So, and then this is day 31. I don't know what to say about this. Okay, compose yourself. Does this outfit look familiar to anybody? Her hair's up in a bun again. That's kind of strange. That's kind of silly, isn't it? This one, I don't know what to say to this. I don't really know what to say about this, other than I was on a voice call with my friend and I was like, I have a really dumb idea. And then I drew it. So that's the dumb idea. You can tell even by the prompt that I was like, this is a really dumb idea. So yeah, and then the last one is this. And it's Kara holding a knife, which is kind of bloody. And she's kind of bloody, actually. Yeah, and she's wearing a very familiar outfit that you might know, you might recognize if you saw my concept animatic. And yeah, that's the thing. That's it. There's a couple extra pages, and I thought about redoing some of them, but the only one I really wanted to redo was Kimberly, and I didn't feel like it. So let's go see what the last day was for here. It was this. So I didn't even do both pages, both prompts, I mean. I only drew this, which is pretty good, I think. I still like it. I did almost kill my my Zig pen. It struggled through this, so by the end I was using a Bic, but Yeah, like these, like this one I used the Zig, this one I used the Bic, same here, because I was just running out of ink. So yeah, that was ALT-TOBER for me. Yeah, this book doesn't even want to close because of like how much I've added. It like, look at it. It like doesn't want to close. It's like, I will be free. So the difference between last year's and this year's, if you were curious, definitely a difference here between like what I did and what I didn't do. I did a lot more coloring, spent more time on it, most of them, except the last ones where I refrained myself to do 15 minutes, 15 to 20. The last one I spent more time on because I was like, all right, I'm good. I got them all done. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please go check out my other socials because YouTube is an on fire garbage can. And I think that's it for the video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, maybe. And check out my other platforms because who knows, maybe I will start posting on there instead. Bye!